And I'm just a teenage dirtbag baby. That's right. Dirtbags are back talking about the Minnesota Vikings cornerback room, who's going to be doing some work this year. Dirk McGurk, damn straight. As the Vikings, yes, they do lose Xavier Rhodes, and Trey Waynes is gone, and sadly Mack is gone too. But influx of all the young talent, as well as hopefully Mike Hughes and Holton Hill will be able to hold down the fort. I'm excited about the Vikings cornerback room. Also, frankly, they can't do worse than last year. Just saying. Yeah. So starting at the top, number 21, Mike Hughes, 2018, number 30 overall pick. Yeah, he's not Will Hernandez. Don't care. Won the Vikings slot cornerback job coming out of camp as a rookie. Zimmer was very highly effusive in his praise of him, but torn ACL, 6 games in, not great. 2019, no OTAs, no training camp, no preseason. Then they just throw him in week 3, and then he has pretty of a meh season. 45 tackles, 11 passes broken up, as well as a pick. And then week 17, he suffered a broken friggin' neck against the Bears in the exhibition game, which should have been playing. The reason that Mack left it because he got hurt against the Bears too, and he got pissed, and then he left. So I was like, yeah, whatever. Don't play anyone against the Bears. Do it. But Mike Hughes this year, I mean, he is slotted in as the Vikings cornerback 1 heading into training camp, which is weird as it sounds. You have an injured dude over the past 2 seasons recovering from a broken friggin' neck, but you still see all of that alpha dog talent that he certainly had coming out of Central Florida. I mean, Mike Hughes was just a great cornerback. He just is, right? And he'll travel with the other team's wide receiver ones. He's feisty. If he's got that confidence back, he certainly has some swagger, and he is a big-time playmaker. And I'm frankly pretty pumped. And, you know, if Mike Hughes doesn't win the starting cornerback job, he could certainly contribute as a punt returner, maybe split some time with KJ Osborne. But, yeah, I think heading into camp, just being the incumbent, just by the fact that you and Holton Hill are the only 2 dudes who have been here for 2+ years. I mean, that certainly has some value. Also, speaking of value, so Holton Hill, 2018 UDFA out of Texas, would have been a mid-round pick, except had issues with the weed. Served an 8-game suspension last year, 4 games for weed, 4 games for PEDs. Was the Vikings' highest graded cornerback in coverage in 2018, his rookie season. So you saw some promise. He's long, physical. He's got the size. He does love to get after it, and I think that you've seen, especially with the addition of Hill and Mike Hughes, as well as the draft picks this year. I think Zimmer wants to get back to the old style, old Zimmer, like peak Xavier Rhodes. Get up in the other team's wide receivers' grill, play press man across the board, and then let the chips fall where they may. I think they want to get back to that because you couldn't do that with Trey Waynes as well as the corpse of Xavier Rhodes. You could do that at the beginning of the Vikings era when you had Terrence Newman still in his prime at like 35, and then Xavier Rhodes was doing the damn thing. So I think if Holton Hill can keep his nose clean, pun intended, and stay on the field, I think he certainly could make an impact this year. Next up, get into the rookies. Numero 20, Hefe Gladney, Jeff Gladney, 31st overall pick, 5'10", $191, coming out of TCU. 2018 was his peak season at Fort Worth. Had a 90.6 PFF grade, 12 passes broken up, 2 interceptions, and it is a lot of fun watching Gladney operate, where we talk about this alpha dogness, where Zimmer has a type, right? He either likes like 6'2" cornerbacks with long arms, a la Cameron Dantzler and Holton Hill, or like 5'10" spark plug, feisty, honey badger, don't give an F type guys like Jeff Gladney and Mike Hughes. And it really is a treat to watch Jeff Gladney. He'll travel with the other team's wide receiver 1. He will gamble. He will take chances. He does have great recovery speed. And also, he's 62 days older than Holton Hill. Not Holton Hill, Mike Hughes, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, does have that experience coming in. And I wouldn't be shocked at all if he's your week 1 starter against the Packers. Ooh, Jeff Gladney, welcome to the NFL. I get to cover Devonta Adams, who's not as good as Adam Thielen, Stephon Diggs, or Justin Jefferson. Next up, the other rookie, day 2 pick, Cameron Dantzler, 3rd round selection, number 89 overall, 6'2", $188. He's added a little bit of weight, have a blue sea or two. Pride of Mississippi State. 2019, 8 passes broken up, 2 picks, only allowed 1 touchdown in coverage his entire college career. And it's not like he's going up against slappies. Like, he's going up against Jamar Chase. He's going up against Jerry Jeudy and Henry Ruggs and A.J. Brown, back when he was at Ole Miss. So, man, Cameron Dantzler has gone up against a gauntlet of very top-tier incoming NFL receivers, and he's held up extremely well. Now, he was knocked because he did have an injury at the Combine, ran a 4.6 4.40, did make up with that running a 4.38 at his pro day, which is just, you love to see it. And I actually think that his ceiling is potentially higher than Gladney's. I think Gladney's floor is a little bit higher. Well, actually, both of the floors is really high. But Dantzler is just this out on the island, does not care, has the length, has the speed. It could be Stephon Gilmore-esque in the way that he approaches things. But man, it's really, I think the Vikings hit 2 home runs in their first 2 cornerback selections, which was going to be a position of need given the offseason. Next up, the third of the draft picks, number 38, Harrison Hand. Actually, I think 38 is kind of an underrated number for a cornerback. It's a terrible number for a fullback because it reminds me of Mahu Nahu Fahi Tahi, 12th man. But Harrison Hand, a 5th-round pick, number 169 overall, 6 foot, a $197, was originally at Baylor before transferring back home to Temple. Finished up his career there with the Owls 1 season, 59 tackles, 3 picks, 5 passes broken up. Now, I actually think that Harrison Hand could convert to safety. That's a little bit TBD because you look at all of the glut of talent that you have in the cornerback room right now. A lot of young, up-and-coming guys. You look at Harrison Hand, you look at Chris Boyd, the former 7th-round pick out of Texas from last year. I actually think that both of them could convert to safety at some point, or they could at least experiment with it. Next up, number 34, the other rookie, UDFA, Neville Clark, coming out of Central Florida. Former teammates of Mike Hughes, national champions. 6'1", a $190. 2019 had 22 tackles, 2 picks, led the team with 11 passes broken up. It was an honorable mention all AAC. Now, he's cut from a similar cloth as Cameron Dantzler, where tall, long arms, likes to play press man, could stand to add a little bit of weight. But the fact that you're getting him as a UDFA, it's huge value. It is monstrous value. Rest of the cornerbacks, so 36. Marcus Sales was a 2017 UDFA from West Georgia. He's 5'9", a $176. Former CFL stud, won the Grey Cup and was an All-Star in 2019 with the Blue Bombers. So the Vikings decided to sign him up to a futures contract. This is not the year for CFL converts. You look at Braylon Addison, the wide receiver we talked about the other day, as well as some UDFAs. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for them to make the team or even the practice squad. Speaking of practice squad, so a guy who made it last year, number 26, Nate Metters. Big sign that Nate Metters might have a future. He changed numbers. Absorbing the Trey Waynes digits. But Nate Metters, 5'11", a $194, UDFA last season out of UCLA. Ran a 4.38 40, had 9 tackles and a pick on 109 total defensive snaps in the preseason last year, as well as an interception against the Saints. Also had a 16.7 quarterback rating when thrown at, which is pretty damn good. Also led the Vikings, led all Vikings in preseason overall PFF grade, as well as PFF coverage grade. So he showed well last preseason and won't have a preseason this year to show off again, but I kind of like Nate Metters. I do. I think that at minimum he sticks around on the practice squad and maybe becomes a little something. Next up, number 29, Chris Boyd, who also changed numbers. I think he was 38 last year. Doesn't matter. Was a 7th-round pick out of Texas last year. Made the initial 53, 5'11", 201 pounds. Played 97 snaps, put up 49.3 PFF grade. Targeted 14 times, giving up 10 catches, 105 yards, and a 92.9 quarterback rating. So when he was thrown into the fire, wasn't great. But also, I do think that he has the physical traits and tools to possibly convert to safety, which, like we talked about with Harrison Hand, may have to happen just because there's so much young talent here in this cornerback room. So number 32, Mark Fields, was a UDFA last season out of Clemson. Was originally with the Chiefs. It's a bad beat, man. Could have won a Super Bowl ring. But he was going to be cut. The Vikings decided to ship a 7th-rounder to KC for his rights before the season. Was on the initial 53 for a couple weeks before being sent down to the practice squad. Was signed up to another futures contract this year. So Yeah. As well as Kimin Hall. So Kimin Hall is kind of interesting. 2019 UDFA from North Texas. Was first team All-Conference USA in 2018. 5'11", a buck 92. A bit of a do-it-all utility defensive back, can play cornerback and safety. Was with the Chargers practice squad before being absorbed up by the Vikings. So we'll see. That's the Vikings cornerback room. A lot of young talent, a lot of questions that do need to be answered, but overall, it doesn't feel like the cupboard's bare. It does feel like a reload as opposed to a rebuild. And I think that Hughes will step up. Same thing with Holton Hill if he stays on the field. Plus, Dantzler and Gladney, I think, will be day one contributors and be damn good. Damn good. All right, but your thoughts on the Vikings cornerback room heading to training camp, let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. If you want to support the work, pull us on the Venmo. Plus, give us a follow on social media as well. But until next time, Skull, production value.